Hi, it's been a while. I know I posted that community post a month ago, and my last video was also posted a month ago after I said I'm gonna be more consistent. Because you know me, apparently I don't know what consistency is. But yeah, it's great to be back. It's gonna be a good rate video, and I'm not gonna do what I usually do. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna try to be consistent, because whenever I say that, I tend to not be consistent. So what I'm gonna do is just actually get my things together, you know, get my ish together. So today we're going to be drawing Superman. I know I'm pretty late. However, I think this topic is gonna be pretty nice since Fantastic Four came out, I think yesterday. And although I won't watch it because I'm not very interested in it, we are gonna be talking about Superman because that movie was incredible. And not only that, we're going to draw him as well. Or at least we're gonna try. Because I'm not the best artist when it comes to manly men. This video is gonna be more of like an exploration type where I'm just trying to figure out how to draw Superman and just trying to improve my art, because I'm decent, but I'm not as good as I want to be. So yeah. Also, another disclaimer, this video possibly will be color graded. If it says on the screen it's color graded, then it's color graded. But hopefully you guys will enjoy this because I'm excited. I like drawing, I like yapping, I like traveling. Instead of doing commentary, I might as well do that, right? Oh, and vlogging. So the next video is already filmed. I think it was filmed like a week ago. And I haven't posted it because I was like, I need to post a Superman video first. And then I didn't. So we're gonna post this one, and then the vlog will be coming out next week. So keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for Selena. But yeah, let's go draw. Before we start drawing, let's light up our candle. Light up our candle. There you go. Beautiful. We're gonna set her aside. Last night I made this journal. Let me actually, yeah. I made this, not journal, like sketchbook. I just did some random stitching. I don't know if there's a name for this technique. I really did it myself brainlessly. But yeah, we're not gonna draw here. We're gonna draw on the sketchbook that I showed earlier. But we are gonna warm up our hands and we are going to write down our ideas, because that is actually a pretty consistent thing I do before drawing, is actually writing out what I want to do, mostly because I'm such a scatterbrain. My mind goes a million miles per hour, especially when it comes to creative ideas, because of how much I like drawing. So you know what, instead of using this Micron, we're gonna use this fountain pen I got from Michaels. It's good, but I wish it was thinner, because for me, I actually prefer thin strokes rather than broad strokes. But my goal is to get a TWSBI, Lamy Safari, and a Kaweco, and I most likely will do a video on it, but as of right now, I don't have those things, so we're gonna use this Michael fountain pen. Superman. Hold on, this might be running out of ink, so I'm gonna have to replace it soon, but it's not, so let's write it. Superman. What is he? He is jolly, goofy, charming, and what else? What else would you consider him? Oh, kind. Obviously, that's his whole thing. So, with these adjectives, what are we gonna do? I'm actually gonna draw Superman as both Clark Kent and Superman, so we're gonna have a variety. But first, we're gonna draw him with Whooper, or Quagsire. Mostly because Quagsire is my favorite Pokemon, so I think it'll be super duper adorable to draw, you know, is gonna be our Clark Kent. We're gonna have him in his nerdy glasses. He's so cute. And he's just gonna be hanging out with Wooper, who I feel like is like the Superman equivalent in the Pokemon world. That's just my opinion, because, well, maybe not, because Superman's pretty smart and Quagsire is not. But yes, we're gonna do that. And I don't have any Chikawa merch, but I think Chikawa would be the absolute greatest. How do you even draw him? I'm drawing this out of memory. That doesn't look like Chikawa, but you know what? You get the point, right? We're gonna draw him in these two characters. Very cute, very jolly. So let's start drafting that out. I'm gonna use the Cold Erase pencil in Rose. I usually like drawing with pen or colored pencil. However, in this case, I think I'm just going to do like pencil sketches, and then because Superman is so inspired by the primary colors, I'm just going to use the primary colors. But as of right now, we're going to color him in pink. Right? Just pulled up Pinterest. David Cornsweat. He is a beautiful, beautiful man. So we're going to kind of draw Superman around him. However, I struggle a lot with drawing real people and like capturing their likeliness. So if it looks bad, please don't bully me. Voiceover Mia here. Hi guys. How did you guys like the Superman movie? Like, tell me your opinions, because honestly, I think it was great. Now that I'm doing this, I think like a week after I filmed this video, and Superman was like the highest grossing movie out of all Superman solo history. I think that just proves that people don't want aura farming Clark Kent and aura farming Superman. We just want our nerdy happy boy again. I grew up on the Schneider era of DC. So we have Gal Gadot and, you know, Superman. And we also had that movie, I don't know if you guys watched it, but I know I did, the Superman versus Batman, where for some reason they were fighting and then they stopped fighting because both of their moms had the same name that I'm kind of blanking out on. My bad. But when I was younger, I think I was like 9 or 10, maybe younger, I never saw Batman and Superman as friends in the DC universe. Like, I would watch the animated series of DC, but it was more leaned towards like Teen Titans and usually Wonder Woman. So my knowledge on Batman and Superman was very poor until I turned 18 right now. So I never knew that Superman was supposed to be like the symbol of hope, because every time I saw him in theaters, it was always dark and gloomy and like desaturated, and he always kind of just seemed like a more powerful version of Batman. So my perception of Superman again was pretty poor. However, now with this current version, that's like 10 times better. It's so beautiful. The colors, like as soon as they started their vibrant use of the primary colors, I wanted to jump out of my chair and personally kiss James Gunn. The costume seemed so boyish, but in like a really good way. Like, it was so charming and sweet. Like, you looked at Superman and you just kind of know that he's still kind of trying to how to be normal and how to balance saving the world versus just being a normal man, and then finding out that his parents wanted him to take over the world. I'm sorry, but in the comics that I've read, that was never the case. Okay, so now I have the final draft. I think this is very cute. So it's just gonna be Clark Kent, Superman on a bus with Quagsire and a Chikawa sleeping on top of the said Quagsire, and Superman / Clark Kent looking freaked out. So now we're gonna go on to the big boy sketchbook. So let's go. Although I should try and draw Superman a bit more. Well, Clark Kent, since we're drawing Clark Kent. Since we're drawing Clark Kent. Say that 5 times fast. So I'm probably going to experiment with his face a bit. And I'm definitely not going to use this because I don't know if you saw, I think earlier when I was trying to erase, it's kept like, yeah, staining the paper. I don't know if you can see that. It keeps like staining the paper. So clearly I'm just gonna have to go with an old traditional pencil, which I mean, I don't mind that much. So yeah, start the time lapse again. But other than that, I think the movie is so charming, especially Crypto. Oh my god, I loved how disobedient and mischievous that little dog was. And after Superman, I loved that New Yorkers, because I always saw that it was New York. Maybe it was in California. I don't know. But New Yorkers would come and bring their like dupe of Crypto, and it was so cute. I loved it. I loved it so much. Okay, and Lex Luthor, oh my goodness, this time I genuinely feel like he was just a little psychopath. He was crazy. Oh my gosh. And I know that actor from Skins, forgive me for not knowing his actual name, but I feel like he fits this role so well, especially when he shot the Samaritan, the guy who gave food to Superman. Oh my god, I cried. I I genuinely cried. I was so heartbroken, and not only that, but I didn't expect this movie to actually kill someone. Like it was a shock. And Lois Lane as well. Like she was actually capable. She was smart and she was beautiful. I don't know her actress's name either. Forgive me for also not knowing her. But I loved Lois in this movie because I usually feel like Lois is always like the princess in danger. But this time I felt like she actually did something. And I know that she always does something, but usually in the movies, it's more like she's kind of like the gate that stops Superman from crashing out. But this time it felt like they were both, I guess, regular people, you can say. Like their relationship wasn't so important to Superman's sanity, if that makes sense. Again, compared to Schneider, where it was like so dark and grim, and like if Lois died, and then Superman would have blown up the Earth. I just think this rendition is a little more truer to their personalities, which I enjoy a lot. All right, and Nolan, the rookie, is Green Lantern with that crazy bob. Um, dang. Okay, I see you, girl, with that crazy bob. That, oh my god. When I saw it, when my dad showed it to me, I started laughing hysterically. But I'm glad that they were self-aware that the haircut was ugly, and not only that, but I really enjoyed that Green Lantern was like cocky. I don't know, it brought like a certain charm to him. And then moving on to Terrific. If you didn't know, the actor for Mr. Terrific originally didn't want to be in this movie because he was like a superhero in another rendition, and the director was like, no, don't worry, you're not gonna get killed off. We're not gonna have the stereotype of black man dies. And then it happened. I typically don't color anything traditionally because when I draw with pen, I keep it like that. If I draw with a color pencil, I kind of just doodle with a color pencil. And when I use markers, I'm sketching with the markers. So like, I'm not gonna color it because of how much I love it. I really like this sketch and I don't want to ruin it. And I know that everyone says like, if you're scared of ruining your drawing, don't. Just do it. And you know what? I'm gonna say no to that. So right now, I'm gonna use these Faber-Castell Gold Faber, sorry, color pencils. I'm gonna swatch because like I said, I'm gonna use primary colors. And I'm just gonna add some color highlights, you know, color in Quagsire and his little enamel. Maybe give Superman some color as well. But other than that, this is pretty much it. I know it's pretty boring, but at the same time, I love it so much that I don't want to ruin it. So yeah, let's go back to the speed paint. But I'm really glad that James Gunn actually made Mr. Terrific so nice to watch. Like, his dynamic with Lois was so entertaining, and he grabbed my heart. I love Mr. Terrific, and I just think it was so cool to watch him actually be a badass and just serve something to the plot. Because, you know, usually when there's superheroes that aren't like the big three, they kind of just get pushed to the side. But I really like that these were actually like big characters. And Hawkgirl. Don't get me started on Hawkgirl. Oh my goodness. I love her. She's my main and Injustice. And I really enjoyed that they didn't try and sexualize her and make her like super duper hot, but instead actually made her very central with Hawks and it made her just wild and chaotic, I guess. Like every time she attacked someone, she was screaming and she was just so beautiful. I loved it. It was so nice to not see the women, you know, being sexualized and just stand there with their butt and boob out saying like, oh yeah, I have to be as pretty as possible. Because like, I enjoy that, but also give my girls character, unlike the 2005 rendition of Fantastic Four, you know? Oh, and Metamorpho and Baby Joey. Oh my god. I was so nervous that entire scene of Superman trying to break out from his jail that Lex Luthor put. I was so afraid that either Metamorpho or Joey was gonna die. Because, mind you, we already established that people die here. Like, I'm already terrified that another person's gonna go down. And I was already very attached to both the baby and Metamorpho. So I was there, gripping my seat, basically saying, please, James Gunn, don't kill them, don't kill them. And he didn't. Oh, the sigh of relief. It was beautiful. And the fact that Metamorpho is the whole reason Superman was able to break out, and his reasoning was because of Baby Joey. Now, a little bit about the drawing itself. I based this on Spirited Away, the bus scene, just because I thought it was like a charming setting for all my 3 favorite characters. So, yeah, I hope you liked it. Right, that is all for today. I hope you liked my yap session and this Quagsire Chikawa and Clark Kent drawing. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, you know, the whole jazz. And yeah, I'll be seeing you in the next vlog. Bye!